Georgia.
Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday Night Live stream. Glad you're all here. Hope you're not in a turkey coma. We've got special guests tonight right down there, and we'll introduce them last since they're special. CW, how's your week been, brother?
Hello, everybody. Glad to be here. Boy, I'm tired. It's been a long day being a deer hunter. Had a pretty good day. Saw some pretty neat things out in God's world out there. Watched the world grow, wake up, and I watched it go to sleep. So it was pretty cool. I'm looking forward to going to sleep later myself. Chris, how was your day?
I had a really good day. I worked out some deals with some new companies. So got a lot of spent pretty much the whole day doing Skype interviews and emailing back and forth with companies. So got a lot of exciting stuff coming to the channel, and glad to be here tonight. I've been looking forward to this, and can't wait to hear about hardcorestorage.com. So we're going to turn it over to Gene.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me on tonight. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Today, stayed busy, got some guns cleaned that have been highly neglected. Of course, we like to shoot. We don't like to clean, right? Man, it's good to be here. And welcome to our special guest, Hardcore Storage. On to you.
Oh, is it our turn? Hi, I'm Kerry.
And I'm Blake.
And we are the men behind the curtain at hardcorestorage.com. We make various 3D printed products for hunting, shooting, and nothing related to hunting and shooting too.
Yes, anything and everything.
That's right.
You can dream it, we can make it.
That's right.
Well, we're glad to have y'all here tonight, and we're going to get up close with what y'all do. But we got our co-host come dragging in late, but it's early for him because he starts 10 minutes late. So, Hillbilly, you're going to be so proud of me, man.
Oh, yeah?
I started the show and my microphone was not muted.
Well, I can't hardly do that, man.
How long is it going to take for you to live that one down?
Well, first he's got to stop doing it.
Yeah, I keep doing it. That's the problem. So, howdy, everybody out there. Glad to be here, guys. Sorry I was running a few minutes late.
Hey, man, it's Thanksgiving week, dude. You got, not Andy. Walter can't be here because his sister and brother-in-law came to visit, so they're probably going to. Carrie and Blake are starting up a new company. Well, have started up a new company, but I want to tell you. Let me introduce CW Longshot is from Connecticut. Y'all know I'm here in Georgia. American Hillbilly is from Missouri, and Gene and Chris, Hot Pot and Chris are from Ohio. So we got a pretty good representation. Walter's from California, and there's my brother MCK. He's supposed to be in here too, but I'm sure he's got family over. And
Mark, going to join us tonight?
Mark
Thomas
with a C.
Yeah,
Leatherwork. Yeah, I hadn't heard from him. Maybe he'll be in later. He's from Pennsylvania, so
I watched his video, and he kind of alluded that he was looking forward to the show.
Well, he'll probably be in shortly then. CW is kind of my co-host administrator. Hillbilly's a co-host as well. Gene does a segment called What's Hot Pot Got. We're going to be getting to that here in a few minutes. and Mike Hester's from North Carolina. He runs a gun shop, so you probably need to get in good with him. So it's called Bullseye Sporting Goods in, I forget the name of that little town, but it's not far outside of Charlotte, maybe an hour or less from Charlotte. Uh, 6 shooter Texan, obviously he's from Texas. Andy 79Z28 out there is from New York. Jesse B Outdoors, he's from Ohio. We're going to do the roll call here shortly. So let's start with you guys. I'm going to give you the full screen, and I'm going to give you the floor, and you can tell us what you want us to know. And then we're going to bomb you with questions.
All right. Well, we are Hardcore Storage Solutions. So I guess we'll just start with, how did this all begin? This began, I lifted at the gun show. So I like to keep all my bulk storage ammo in 50 cal ammo cans. I have some that at my house. Most of them are at most of them are at my family farm, which is not in the city, whereas where I would want to be if bad things happen. Anywho, but I hated that every time I wanted to let me take a step back. I always keep in each ammo can a mix of ammo. I'll keep some 9mm, some 5.56, some shotgun shells, so that if I had to only grab 1 or 2 cans, I know that at least in one of those 2 cans, I have some of everything in it. Mm-hmm. But I hated that different manufacturers' boxes fit in the ammo cans differently, and so I always ended up with spare space that I have to shove full of paper or some other filler, so it wasn't shifting around, and it was always playing Jenga to get it. Not Jenga, Tetris. Playing Tetris to get it in there. And so one day I called my buddy up here and I said, listen, I have Googled till the cows come home and cannot find any way to like organize some standard way inside of an ammo can. And so he then did his Googling, and we're both nerds from the internet. So the fact that neither of us could find a product that would solve this problem kind of surprised us. So we were like, well, we both have a nerd background. Let's try to figure this out. And so after a year or so of going back and forth, we eventually landed on these little modular ammo trays. And they fit. Here, can you take the lid off? No. All right. So anyways, they fit. These are our quarter trays. So they fit 4, and then however many vertical, depending on what kind of ammo. It's 9mm or 308. Obviously, the height is different. But that way I can just have a couple of cans organized with various different items, but it's fairly easy to pick through and find what I'm looking for. I've also started using different colors for different types, so I can just put my hollow points and my FMJs in different colors and just really quickly glance down and see what I have. Mm-hmm. We also do not bullets. So I have some bullion trays that I keep my silver bullion in. I've got some battery trays. So we have AA, AAA, CR123A. We're working on some of the button batteries, like for your red dots and what have you. I've got a friend of mine that is a law enforcement officer, and he got really excited when I showed him one of our early prototypes because he wanted in the trunk of his police car CR123As, which is what all of his weapon lights and flashlights run off of, and then 9mm and 5.56, just so that he knew that he had that in the trunk of his car in a nice package that would stay nice and organized for him. Gosh, what else?
Hey, special thanks to Mike and Christian. I appreciate that. They said nice product, and that's really cool.
Ah, sweet.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
But interestingly enough, it was my wife who used to work at Bass Pro Shop who decided, hey, this is like something I would see on the shelf at Bass Pro. You also try to see if someone would buy this. And one thing led to another, and we actually ended up.
I can help you out here.
Okay, all right.
Because he calls me and he was like, "Hey, my wife said we should sell these," and both of us were like, "Well, why would we do that? Somebody already made some, obviously."
Yeah, somebody obviously makes.
And so we started looking. We couldn't find anything. So then we went to a lawyer. Do you have trays to hold loaded mags?
We'll get there.
Yeah. Right. And so we were like, well, why would we sell it? Because obviously it already exists. So we went to a lawyer and we showed the lawyer, and he goes, well, that's really cool, but you have to understand that people come with us ideas all the time. And it's just like everything is taken. So we'll work with you. Maybe we can do a design thing. And so after a little while, he came back after a 2-week search, and he was like, you need to file a patent now.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe this doesn't exist. And we were like, whoa, okay. And so he asked about loaded mags. Like, do we?
Oh,
have,
well, to finish out the story though.
Right.
So we went through the process. We got the patent application. It got accepted. We're still working through the process, so we're still pending. But the fact that we didn't get like an immediate rejection is apparently a good thing.
Yeah.
And anyways, so then we kept refining the product. Eventually, we showed it to a friend of mine that owns a gun store north of Atlanta, and his advice was get it in front of people, get it in people's hands, see what they think, see what they want to do. And pretty quickly after going to some gun shows, we realized there's a demand here. We sold that. The first gun show was kind of a weird because we didn't have the printer, and it was just we were figuring things out.
Yeah.
But then every gun show after that, we basically sold out of all of our product.
Everything.
Because we generally don't keep a lot on hand. We just sort of, as people order them in whatever color they order and whatever they want, we make.
Yeah.
For example, when we first started, we didn't have any 38 special trays. Someone rang us up and said, I'd like 38 special trays. And we said, sure thing. And so we just took it and figured out what size holes and whatnot and went to town. As a segue on that, I had developed 12 gauge tray. And then later on acquired some 50 BMG. And then I spent a whole hour of my life getting out the calipers and measuring out the specifications for 50 BMG. And it wasn't until I was about ready and about done with it that I realized it's the exact same. It's the exact same diameter 50 BMG as this 12 gauge.
Yeah.
So,
and
I think it was shortly thereafter that YouTube started recommending these videos of like people trying to shoot 50 BMG out of a shotgun. Wouldn't recommend it, but apparently it's possible. I missed that previous comment, but
fly tying organization and reloading bench organization. Yes.
So about the magazines. So we just came up with something about 2 weeks ago. Try fly tying organization and reloading. Oh yes, fly tying like fishing. Yes, yeah. That's a really good idea. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Thank
you. So we were like, it would be really cool if in a can you could have magazines and bullets and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And so we started down the process of trying to figure out a tray to hold mags. And I bet we don't have a single one here with us.
We have all of them at the show.
We have all of them at the show.
So we mentioned we don't keep a lot on hand. We have a show tomorrow in Lawrenceville, actually a small plug.
Yeah.
And we'll be there in person. But like all of our magnet clips are there, but they're a magazine holder that's like a clip that clips onto your belt, and they're adjustable. So like when you put a different size, like whether it's single file or a double stack mag, it'll fit in there tight and secure. And then there's a really strong magnet on the bottom. And so when you clunk it down into a can, it snaps to the bottom of the can, and you can push it against your trays or ammo boxes or whatever else you might have in your can to keep it from sloshing around while you're walking around. So we do actually have a solution for loaded mags, and we've tried it out. You can get about, like, I'd say maybe about 10 fully loaded 9mm mags to stick in the bottom of a can straight up. So you can just pull them out and use them. And then the other good part is if you're using your magazine or if you're using your firearm somewhere like out in a field or at a range that's outdoor that doesn't have a table, instead of putting your empties on the ground, you can take our magnet clip and stick it to the side of the can, or just clip it to your belt till you're done, so that your empties don't have to go in the dirt.
I was trying to see if I had a picture I could pull up, but I don't.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, we're really new. We just invented magnet clip like 2 weeks ago.
So yeah, we just came up with it last week.
The show.
Yeah, so they're all sitting at the table at the gun show in Lawrenceville tonight.
Thanks, Stephanie. We appreciate that.
Oh, Stephanie. Apparently, my wife is on.
Is that?
Yes,
Is that
that
her?
is her.
Okay. Yes,
I
that is
recognize
her.
the logo.
Yes,
But just a little bit beyond our core product, we also do custom parts. So a gunsmith hired us just the other week to. There's a whole YouTube thing about handling guns, so I have to kind of just describe what I'm. Yeah. So this is a Surefire all-in-one hand guard for shotgun and light. The law enforcement guys really like these apparently because there's no wires exposed to get caught on something. But this is for a Mossberg, and the gunsmith wanted to be able to use this product on an M1 Benelli, which Surefire never made one of these lights for it.
Right.
So we came up with this. It's basically just a shim.
And see, he handed us this marred up, whittled
Yeah.
piece of plastic, and he's like, I think it'll fit. I just don't really know how to do that. Is there any chance that you can look at that? And we took our calipers to it, and we scanned it into the machine and rendered it in 3D and refit it. And I think it took about, I don't know, 7, 8 versions or so.
Oh yeah.
Boom.
So Papa's Place, yes, it is awesome. If you get into 3D printing, you can really start just solving all kinds of interesting problems. So we're not on Etsy. We have our own website that you can go to, hardcorestorage.com.
Everything's 40-50% off because we're brand new. We're just trying to get our name out there. So yeah, hardcorestorage.com. And whatever you guys order, we can make it and ship it to you within a week or so. Depending on how many orders we get.
Well,
yeah, right. If
you order 100,000 units, might be a little bit longer than that.
Right? But so
we will work on that problem.
a little bit of insight in our process here. We actually just had one finish just before the program started, and so when they finish, they're on the plate here, and you just kind of pop, and it comes off.
Yep.
And it's
done.
Just 100% the way that it's supposed to be with the words on it, and it's got we can even personalize them. And so that's how we do it. And I'll get it.
Show them the separator.
The connector. Wasn't there a connector?
Oh yeah.
Oh, here it is. So this is what we call the connector. We made them removable because we wanted to be able to do either multicolor, because some people like to have 2 different color units, and also you could have different height things for different bullets. The thing, as I mentioned about the shotgun thing, is that a lot of the measurements of ammunition out there are very similar, and so technically all you'd have to do is take a tray and change out the connector, and you could use it for several different types of ammo, no matter what the label says.
Yeah, these guys most of these guys are reloaders, and they know the different.
Yeah, I didn't before all this. I used 9mm 5.56 military, and then 12 gauge and 40 Smith and Wesson and 30-30 growing up. So outside of that, I just know what I know and don't know what you don't know, right?
Well, you taught me something at the gun show about a 12 gauge and a 50 BMG.
50 BMG.
Same diameter. Who knew?
Right?
Yeah. And then I saw a YouTube channel where was it Demolition Ranch or one of those, gun tuber folk decided to give it a shot, and it put a hole in a bottle of water, but it wasn't much more than that because there's no pressure.
It was like throwing a spear, but with gunpowder.
No rifling, no constriction. No
right. And then we also just started making some of these. These are just magwells for a Gen 4 Glock.
Mm-hmm. They work great. Well, we even grabbed one and hit it with a hammer, and he's a pretty big fella, and he had to really give it some gas to get all the way through it.
So these are actually printed in carbon fiber nylon, which is effectively the same thing that Glock makes their lower handguns out of. So obviously theirs is not 3D printed, and there's some layer adhesion strength stuff that I won't get into the details. But if anybody wants to know, I'll be more than happy to talk about.
Oh yeah.
But it's rated for fairly high temperatures, and we actually have some very specialized printer equipment to be able to print with that. Mostly because I originally wanted to try my hand at making handgun lowers and AR-15 3D printed lowers, but then suddenly this sort of exploded, and I haven't yet had a chance to go back to the hobby side of 3D printing. It's all been the business. So it's interesting about the semi specs.
It's actually it's a Cork of 3D printing.
Yes, it's a Cork of the 3D printer.
It's our process. It's not their specs. Their specs are perfect, but the trick is when you print in different forms of plastic the way that we do, some plastic expands more than other plastics that retract. So you have to kind of account for that, and that's why we end up with like 4 or 5 versions before we land on what works just right. Yeah. We actually use a cluster of Prusa minis right now to answer that question.
Now we do also have a Prusa i3 Mark III S Plus in an enclosure that we do the high temp parts.
And that is what our wonderful host saw us using.
Yes, that actually travels with us to the gun shows and is sitting on the table at the gun show right now.
And yeah, the one of the great Pistol Pete, thank you about the magwells. Yeah, I think it's a great product. The thing about our magwells that's really cool is that we can offer them at less of a price than like the big guys and stuff like that. So, and you can with ours, they're just as good. You just wail on them real good, but if you damage them, you're not out $100.
And I'm a little wider than a lot of people, like just wider in general, and I like it because my the end of my hand grip isn't constantly getting marred up. It's basically got a little, almost like a protect. It's for me, it's just as cool as basically as a bumper protector than it is as an actual functional magwell. Which I'll be honest with you, until I actually printed one and tried it, I thought it was just sort of a frilly, like, what do you need that for? Oh, this has been fine for however many years. Why do you need this new fancy thing? And then I tried it, and I just realized that just without even looking down, I was able to just slam them in there without ever wider magwell. Yeah, that's the cool thing, is that this is just our very first set of prototypes.
Exactly.
There was a guy that was asking us, could we make it even wider, make it even deeper?
No problem.
Whatever you'd like to see,
we
get in touch.
Well, if you want
any color, put logos on them and text.
Whatever you might want.
See, that's going to be a big deal because Hot Pot and Chris from the 740 are competition shooters, and they would probably be interested in some stuff like that. Is that more better? We're a little bigger.
There we go.
Yeah, you cut one of them out of the picture.
No.
we just have to. There we go. There you go.
Okay.
That's more gooder.
Mark Thomas came in. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you,
Mark.
Sorry, I was a little bit late. We had dinner to catch up with.
Another majestic view.
Thanks for having me. Hope everybody's had a wonderful Thanksgiving. It's been great to be here. Looking forward to the evening of chat.
So
Hardcore Storage. Nice to meet you, gentlemen.
Nice to meet you too, sir.
There's your order right there, guys.
Gen 17, Gen 3. So that's exactly what
magwell. Yeah,
that's exactly what these are.
Yes.
P80. That's the polymer 80.
Yeah.
I don't have a polymer 80, but I'm sure I could figure it out.
No problem.
Yeah. I've got a what are those guys called? The South Carolina
Palmetto
State Armory. Yeah, I've got a dagger lower that I'm working on a magwell for at the moment.
We have Defense Dad says, I see gun people. Scotsman and I are really good buddies, and there's a lot of us on here that kind of, whether we want to be or not, we're kind of beat up the Glock crowd, and We probably shouldn't be that way because, I mean, I watched a video today from God Guns and Family, and he was saying that Glocks are the most traded guns in America right now because what happens is people went out and bought a bunch of them up in 19 as we were getting into COVID. And then as they got them out and started shooting them, they found something they didn't like about them and they went and traded them all in. And then as soon as they're trading those in, more guys are coming to buy the Glocks. And then they've traded the Glocks in for something else. And it just keeps on multiplying itself, I guess. But that's where we're at.
Well, I'll tell you, a wise instructor once told me that it's very hard for your average person to shoot better than the gun can. So as long as you train with whatever it is, and it is not, two pieces of black iron pipe duct tape to a piece of wood, it's probably going to work for you well enough.
Look at this mess. I'm being bashed right now. Check this out. If Glock made a 270 Winchester, I would be all over it.
All over it.
So there's guns and water. Let's do this. Let's type in hs.com for hardcorestorage.com and we'll call your name out on the TV. Not yet, Mark, but we'll get to that shortly. Okay, so we got, and this will blow off the page, and it already has. All right, we got, it did it again. Hold on a minute. All right, CW Long Shot, reloading from the hot pipe. Both are on the panel and in the side chat. Chico Wise, what's going on, brother? You got a link if you want it, I believe. If you don't, text me. There's Andy79Z28, R-Tack and Daughters, Hillbilly Up, New Tex I Can, M. Gabriel, the Scottish American, Walks Fletcher, Chris from the 740, Vanessa Kitty, Tim S. And that's all I got so far. Is StreamYard slow, or I'm showing we got 75 people watching and nobody wants their name called out on TV tonight.
So I saw that today on Palmetto State Armory, you could buy a full dagger for $250, which is effectively a Gen 3 Glock, which is kind of crazy to me that you can get would probably a halfway decent gun that'll go bang when you pull the trigger for that low of a price.
I think the other day the lower and the upper were $199 before Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So the whole reason I have a dagger lower is because I ordered a 300 blackout upper, a pistol upper, and it popped up and said, "Hey, would you like a dagger lower and a stripped AR-15 lower for $50?" Sold. I paid more in the FFL transfer than I did in the actual weapons.
Isn't that crazy that they've got stuff so low you're paying almost as much as FFL transfers?
Right.
I mean, wild. it's crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild to me to think that, and it's just so cool because it's like their whole mission statement is about getting a gun in everyone's hands. So they're always like driving the price further and further down, which seems to be the opposite direction that everyone else goes. But I got to give them props for that. I don't have like vast experience with them or anything, but so far the little bit of experience I do have seems like it'll do its job. It'll do the thing.
They're great.
It'll go bang.
They're
What?
Some pretty good people, in my opinion, from what my experience has been so far with them. So,
Yeah, we built one over the summer. It's been flawless. We've been running the hell out of it.
Nice.
Okay, let's see what we got out here in the side chat now. Let's see. Tim S says it's Glock Magwell. Come with the screw to keep it on.
yeah, a lot of people when they look at the back end of a Glock or a dagger or whatever, like the mystery hole down at the bottom, that's the screw to hold the magwell on. So I assume your guys' has a screw in the hole where you just automatically slide up in there and put the screw in for your magwell.
It does, but I can tell I've been running mine for some long extensive testing, but a couple of weeks now, and it just form fits so well in it.
It's so good, yeah.
I mean, I have to like yank it to come out. I mean, it's not.
But yes, it does come. With
it does have a hole. Yeah, there is a hole there.
Screw. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
All right, let me get back to the side chat, Colin. I'm going to start over. Type in HS or HS.com for hardcore, and we'll call your name out. I'm going to start all over again because I obviously messed that up pitifully. So we got CW Long Shot and Reloading from the Hot Pot, Papa's Place, Chico Wise, Tim S, Andy 79Z28, RTAC and Daughters, Hillbilly Up, New Tex I Can, M Gabriel, Scottish American, Walks Fletcher, Chris from the 740, Vanessa Kitty, Tim S again, Pistol Pete, Guns and Water, RTAC and Daughters, Tommy Boy, Stephanie, Bama Dad, CW, Miss Kitty Hasbro, Stephanie again, Adam Winchell, and I'm striking out here. There's Andy 79Z28 again, and Chris from the 740. Pistol Pete. Let's put that up. Vanessa Kitty. Walks Fletcher again. Jesse B. Outdoors. What's going on, brother? Michael Dunn. Hillbilly Up. Gunwild 1. Defense Dad. And that's all I got. So, nobody wants to have their name called out. Which, that's okay.
You fine gentlemen have a lot of collective wisdom about ammunition, I perceive. And considering our line of business and the materials we work in, I was curious what y'all's opinion of people like True Velocity's polymer casing.
Yeah.
I've watched quite a few videos on it. I think that they were claiming so much accuracy out of that ammo, and it did not. It definitely didn't meet the expectations of people. That's for sure.
And it's not cheap.
No.
No. I ordered 3 boxes of it just as like call it a market research opportunity. Paid a lot of money for it.
Sure is a fancy box.
Oh man, it comes in a real fancy box. It came with a box. It came with a t-shirt and a hat. And it's like, that's cool, but I really want to know about the ammo.
Yeah.
But I know you can't reload it, and I'm like, good Lord, it's I just worry about it being like ripped apart in the chamber. Like it extracts the metal plate, but then the plastic were to stay in the chamber or something. That would be sort of my my scared point on that.
I tell you, I've sparked many conversations in internet forums through the years when I tell people that the brass case is nothing but a vessel that holds the powder. And people get so up in arms. Oh my God, no, it doesn't. And of course it does a little more. I'm oversimplifying it, but I mean, it just goes to prove it. Companies like that making plastic cases.
Mm-hmm.
I have some of that, and I had it here, and I must have moved it. It must be downstairs. But I had some empty cases of that 308, if you remember, CW.
Yeah.
That I showed on here before we actually got the series started.
There's that practice ammo too. That's blue cases with a steel rim. There's a lot of that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's really cool. I've seen that before in the military stuff. That's supposed to be cheap.
It's practice.
308.
Yeah, it's practice ammo.
It's not.
It's full of powder.
Like a less lethal or anything. Yeah.
No, not at all. It's
Yeah.
It would kill you dead if you're up close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've thought about it. I've thought like, how could we do a thing with what we are going on? But I just, I don't. Yeah.
Well, we need a better plan.
There's a guy on here.
Yes.
Boy, oh boy, what the name? He's printing everything. He's printing everything. He's making reloading presses. He's made receivers. He's made gun parts. He's made everything you can imagine.
Okay.
And some of it works out pretty good. And some of it he has to do a half a dozen times before he gets it right, like you guys are talking about. And I'm sure that's probably a good day, right?
Yes.
Sometimes it's a winner. Sometimes it's a loser.
Oh yeah, it's I mean, just trying to figure out like the tolerances so that this is like fits but not like locks up entirely.
It's giving me bad dreams.
Oh man,
I mean 2 months.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times at the gun show people will be like, "It's just the ammo tray. I could make that myself." I'm like, "Good luck, buddy."
Yeah, have fun. Sure.
Go forth and
like, oh man, I got a printer at home. I can print that. You're gonna need a lot of coffee, homie.
I thought Michael Dunn had a good question out there. Speaking of dummy ammo, do you guys make any or plan on making any of that for dry firing?
That's not a bad idea at all. He was asking, could we make like basically Snapcat dummy ammo?
Oh
yeah. Yeah, we totally could.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's just about taking the SAMI specs and printing it. It's not,
Just have to have a formulation that didn't deteriorate after, 2 clicks.
I've seen some of that. I've seen 3D printed snap caps.
Yeah, 22 rimfire is fully molded, printed, whatever.
No, I've seen 9 and 40.
Yeah.
Yep. I work at a reloading supply, and I sort brass for a living. So we get in, 2,000-3,000 pound bags of brass from all over the country, and I see everything. I see stuff that nobody's seen yet. It's crazy. I've got a collection, a whole container full of different snap caps and stuff, and there are some 3D printed out there. The ones I have are orange.
Yeah.
So there is a market out there for them.
Okay. That would actually be fairly easy for us to manufacture. That's not. Yeah.
That's the beauty of what we do.
Yeah.
Like, is that we're able to do, yeah. And that's one of the things we're excited to bring to the firearm and marksman hunting communities, because manufacturing, they've been in on this for a while. But everybody looks at this either as like a hobby thing or like the things the astronauts use to make stuff. And well, yeah, it's great for stuff like that. But we're looking to get people's minds away from this being something where you pay a lot for a highly specialized 1 or 2 things. This is something where, the little guy can come up and build up their own machine cluster and build to a manufacturing platform of their own and go from dozens of units to hundreds to thousands to hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, in fact, today when we were setting up for the show, a gentleman walked over to us and said, "Oh, 3D printing. I make a custom AR pattern rifle in, I forget what round it was, but it was some, I call them cowboy loads, the, straight wall, 45, 70, 38 special, those sort of like straight walled ammo. And apparently has some sort of custom made mags, but he can't get followers fast enough milled out in aluminum to meet demand. And he said, "Can you 3D print those for me?" And I said, "Yeah." And so he's bringing them tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we'll probably have a prototype to him either by the end of the day or by the end of the show on Sunday. And so it's like we can really quickly turn things around.
And I guarantee we can beat the price for milled aluminum.
Oh, yeah. All day, every day.
All day long.
That's not even a question. Yeah.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
I've asked a couple 3D printer guys about doing this. What about some lock grips? Are you familiar with lock grips?
Lock grips.
Negative. Yeah, LOK grips.
I've never heard of it.
Well, they do custom G10 CNC grips, and they make some really nice ones. And my favorite ones are called the Bogey Palm Swell.
Okay,
and it's one of their most popular sellers. It actually gives a bulge to the sides of the grip where you can put grip panels on, like 1911s.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Now my High Point, Hillbilly's got one of these too. My High Point JXP, High Point's got separate grips on each side, like a 1911.
Yeah.
I inquired about having a set of Bogey Palm Swell grips made for the High Point.
Yeah.
And I had a couple different guys that I know do commercial 3D printing go, "Give me one of these." They said, "Nope, not interested." I'm like, but there's going to be a market out there for them. There's so many aftermarket High Point parts, but all the grips are flat and just textureless. Right?
So the big thing about us, right? Like the 38 special, I don't really know what the demand is going to be for 38 special. I know what the demand so far for 9mm is, but I know what for 38 special hasn't exactly been flying off the shelf. But what's cool about it is I just have a file sitting on a computer that costs me nothing to sit there. And then if someone down the road orders it, I print it and send it to them. If you were going to do this in traditional injection molding, you'd have to spend $10,000 for a mold, maybe even 2 molds, to make one version of this. And then each ammo type is an additional investment of $10,000. So by 3D printing it, we can really quickly turn out different versions very quickly based on demand. I would suspect that the people you were talking to were either running really high-end 3D printing machines like an SLS or a Fusion Jet or something like that, which at the end of the day, if you're not spending $1,000 per pair of grips, they're not going to make money, right? But because we're using sort of in between, right? We're not using the cheapest thing you can buy off Amazon, but we're also not buying, we're not spending $10,000 per 3D printer. We can fill a niche in the market there. So he just brought up on the other monitor here one of those lock grips, and I don't see why I couldn't. Yeah.
That really doesn't. We've been presented with more difficult things. I mean, those little window things are more difficult texture than that and smaller details.
Yeah. So that's another really neat thing you can do with 3D printing that you can't really do with traditional injection molding. And that's really interesting textures and shapes and stuff, because the mold would stick into it. Yes, Andy.
Yes, Andy. We are. We're working on it. We're trying to get the money together.
So where was I going with that? So the only other option then is to basically injection mold some sort of block and then CNC out the part. But again, then you're wasting a lot. So I think we could probably fashion one of those up if you want to talk offline. I'd love to pick your brain about exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Man, my email's reloading from the hot pot at gmail.com.
Write that down
Yeah,
somewhere.
I know. Right?
All lowercase, all together.
Technology.
We all like to keep stuff simple.
All right,
Yeah, there's a few of us got those JXPs. They're good guns, man.
Yeah, the JXPs, the JHPs, the 40 and 45 and the 10 millimeter. I mean, all the grips out there are just flat and textureless. And those guns, every time you pull the trigger on one of them JXPs, it just puts a big smile on your face. every time. I mean, it's just they're so big and clunky that they just feel good.
Yeah. There was a gentleman on the show a couple of days ago that asked us about making him. He had some sort of ailment, physical disability, and was asking if we could fashion basically a slide grip for a 1911. So it'd be
arthritis.
Arthritis or something in his hand that would be it'd be easier for him to grab a hold of the slide and pull it back. And we're not there yet. Part of the problem is I don't have a 1911, so I'm working on that.
Carbon fiber speed loader would be awesome, is what somebody just said a second ago.
Yes. So we use polymers. That's what this is a polymer. If you're asking, do we use the same as like a polymer 80 polymer? That's nylon. So that's this. So like literally I had a difficult time cracking one of these with a hammer. So it's pretty sturdy. I'm pretty sure I probably would have just broke the grip on the hand of the gun before that thing broke.
But also like our trays are made out of PLA. Because they have all the it's actually funny. When we were making the mag wells and we were making the attachment for the shotgun, we were asked by other people asking about our business. They were like, well, aren't you concerned with how hot the plastics will get on the side? And I was like, I'll tell you what, those plastics are as hot as you're comfortable letting your loaded shotgun get. How about that? No, same thing with your pistol. Those mag wells will get as hot as you're comfortable letting your loaded Glock get.
Yeah, that's it.
I also have a question on your 38 special. You said you're not turning very many of those, selling them, but they also would fit 357, correct?
Yes.
So, I mean, to me, that would be the one I would buy is the 357 because, I mean, that's perfect.
Yeah. I don't even. Is it taller?
Yeah.
Pardon?
It's taller.
It's same diameter, everything.
But it's
just taller.
It's 1/10 of an inch longer.
Okay. So we would just need to re-engineer this a little bit, put a different label on it, and done. Yeah.
It's the same thing with the 9 and the 5.56.
Or I have a suggestion. If you could just, I don't know how your trays fit through, but even if you could put an extra lock on there, I seen you a while ago. You put it in and spun it, right?
That's right. Yeah. It goes in, spins, and then locks in place.
So if there was one taller that had 2 locks on it, you could do the 357 or the 38 on the same stem, maybe.
Right.
Yep.
Those, I think, those
if there's weight on it, it locks in.
Yeah. So you could, if you had 4 of them stacked up or whatever, you could grab the top one and pick all 4 of them up out of the box.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So
that is an excellent piece of feedback. I'm glad you mentioned that.
We're actually working on. We've been working on an engineered solution where you can lock them on stack.
Can you see where it's kind of like almost like a crenellations or something here, where there's like 4 little parts? Yeah, there you go.
Lugs.
Yeah.
Yes, lugs. There you go, like in a bolt carrier. The idea is that that'll eventually have a nub in here that this will go in and then twist, lock into, so you can pick the whole stack up. But
we're working on
We're working on
nice.
it. Yeah. There's a lot of intricacies when printing very small bits like that you have to get the measurements right, so that, because you think the nozzle is 0.4 millimeters, and 3D printing world all works in
fractions of millimeters.
Yeah. So when you're talking about a nozzle that's 0.4 millimeters, and then you're making a nub that's maybe 1 millimeter, the computer has a hard time figuring out the math to, so you have to do it in like multiples of the diameter of the nozzle so that it then can do the thing. Very descriptive, lots of pronouns there.
I want to address that comment I had up there.
Yes, sir. Which one was, I'm sorry, it was going by the hot coat thing?
Yes.
I'm not sure what that means.
That's a question for the powder coaters. Rebel, 67 Rebel. If I say Rebel, then Mike Hester's going to answer. So you got to be careful. I have both the hot coat and the standard Eastwood powders, and I've seen no difference in them. I would tell you to make sure you read the directions and make sure you get your bake time right. But other than that, Gene, have you seen any difference? Or Mark?
Nope, I have not seen any difference in powder brands. Some require a longer time, some require higher temperature, lower temperatures, but that's just running a couple batches and finding out with the common numbers. That's all that is. Everyone's application is going to be a little bit different. How long did your bullet sit before you tried to powder coat it? That can come into play. You know, how fresh was it? That's about all I got to say about that.
CW, are you where you can hear us? You got any comment on the hot coat Eastwood powders? I think it's more than anything. I think it's just a labeling thing.
Yeah, it's probably, you got to remember, powder coat is not designed for what we're using it for bullets. So there's a whole other industry that's using this, and a whole other, they're catering to that. So no, I haven't found any difference. Matter of fact, I've used powders, probably 20 different kinds, and across the board, I do well with baking 20 minutes after it starts to gloss over, after it starts to melt. So, and 400 degrees. So you'll find a lot of them will say less temperature or less time, but I've never ever had a problem with more time and 400 degrees. I have had problems following directions and doing it for 25 minutes at 350.
So y'all are just taking old-fashioned like automotive powder coat and putting it on a lead bullet and baking it?
Basically, yeah.
Sweet. That's kind of a cool idea. Just to give it a color?
It's a really cool, simple, super simple process. You don't need the powder. We don't use the powder coat gun.
Right.
It's all done with static electricity and plastic bowls.
So when we were first getting started, I was trying to figure out a way to do labels. And I started off with a laser engraver that would engrave, but then you couldn't see it very well because it wasn't very contrasting. So then I got prismatic color powder coat, same folks who do Cerakote. And I would use a tongue depressor to go back and forth to get it to go in the thing, and then run the laser over it again, and it would melt the powder coat down into the plastic, and it looked really good. It was just a lot of manual labor for something we're trying to sell kind of on the low end of price of things. But yeah, it's kind of interesting when the different uses you can use for powder coat that isn't like using the powder coat gun in a paint shop.
Yeah, it's
okay. That makes sense.
So it is the bullet lube because it's very slick, and once you get them cooled off, you'll understand. You'll pick them up by the handful and drop a bunch of them. There's Walter. Come on in if you want, Walter. We still got plenty of room, buddy.
So do you have to adjust the size of the casting, or is it negligible? It's so thin.
It can add 1 to 3 thousandths depending on how thick the powder coats on the bullet. And we generally size or don't. What I'm learning is with the tumble lube design bullets, you're probably better off not not sizing those. I've had trouble stabilizing the Lee tumble lube design. They want to wobble and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, they do. So I don't size any of the tumble dew bullets I make. I just cast, powder coat, and load.
I have another question for hardcore storage, if you guys don't mind. I noticed what you guys are showing so far. Everything's been orange. Is there any chance you're going to color code certain calipers to different colors? Okay. All right. Okay. So you have, are those pick any color, like for any caliber, or is a certain caliber a certain color? I guess is what I'm asking.
So you can mix and match all you want.
Yep.
So if you want to have your orange and 5.56 and your blue in this, I know a couple of guys that do reloading and they like them to do, and I'm speaking way outside my lane here, so please don't bash me too hard, but they load them differently and then put them in different color trays.
Yeah.
I don't know if that
like
sounds
different grains or like different tips or something like that.
Well, the tips I know, like Hollow Point versus FMJ,
Well,
but something about like the amount of powder they put in or how they put the bullet in or something,
like,
and they use it to keep track of like, here's my stack of this and here's my stack of that. So you know any color we have can be made into any product that we have.
And to answer a little more concisely, so like we have, see this is what our product starts as. And so we really, to stay lean, we actually don't keep a lot. A reason why like 9 of these are orange is because
it's printing orange at the moment.
And it's also the most popular color we sell.
Yeah.
So like we don't keep a lot of product in person because we prefer to let you guys order it because you can order it in whatever color for the base price. We don't charge more for different colors or anything like that.
Yeah,
right.
Because like my main concern would be the reason I keep different color mags for 5.56 and 2.23 is because you do not want to get those mixed up, you know. And so I would think, that's the reason I was asking the same thing for that. All right, that's great.
And MagnaClip, the same thing. So like our magazine holders, any color we have. So your different loaded mags can be in different colors.
Because my 40 Smith & Wesson Glock 22 and my Glock 45 9mm mags, if you just looking at them in a box, you have to pick up and look at them, right? So
nice.
Yeah, just a quick and easy way to look down and go, I need the orange ones.
Boom.
Can you do purple?
I mean,
I think.
Is there a purple filament on sale?
I'm fairly certain I saw a purple. So we buy the filament commercial. You know what? Let me tell you a story about how we get from nothing to a piece of plastic.
Oh my gosh.
And I think I take a lot of pride in this because I just think it's so cool. So for you guys from Ohio, I don't know if you know this, but we grow some corn in America. Did y'all know that?
Really?
Really, there's some corn that gets grown in America. So they'll take that corn from Ohio and grind it up into cornstarch and then send it up to a company in New Jersey. And that company in New Jersey will take that cornstarch and turn it into what's called PLA. Now, I'm not a chemist. I couldn't tell you what PLA stands for, but it's some sort of polymer. And we then take these and print with them. So we kind of have a limited color set on our website at the moment, just to try to simplify things. However, if someone has a special request for a color, if you want pink glitter, whatever, we could do pink glitter. Like there's actually probably 3 times as many colors available for us to get as a source that we could then sell. That just for simplicity's sake, we kind of just list the ones on the website and then anything else you want, boom. Making cornbread storage solution. You know, it's funny you would say that. We, this kind of is a bit of a prepper thing, right? So we joke and we say that we've got we've got bullets, batteries, and bullion covered. We're still working on the beans.
So just too messy.
PLA stands for polylithic acid.
There you go.
Polylithic acid. Smart people were
Smart people. That's right.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, yeah. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times people come up to a gun show and get, you got 300 blackout trays? I'm like, I mean, I got 556. But apparently I need to start making trays that literally say 300 blackout.
So yeah, we only got 556 and 223, buddy. Sorry. Because the people that's asking those questions probably should have known one.
You know, I was like,
you could go with the labeling as 223/556 and then do another one that says 300 blackout just for the 300 blackout nerds.
Yeah, charge an extra
$1
for 300 blackout.
Tell them, well,
these are limited edition blackout trays.
Yeah, these are going to be $3 more. They're 300 blackout special edition trays.
That's right. We only come in black.
Well, I was going to say we just got black filament in, so
yeah,
perfect.
That's not a bad idea. So that's the beautiful about this, right, guys? Is that we have an idea and we just make it. It's not. We don't have to go through some long, laborious process to set up a production line or anything. We just make it.
Somebody
make it.
Somebody last weekend looked at MagnaClip the first day, and they were like, "This is really cool how it clips down into an ammo can with a strong magnet on the bottom. But it'd be great if I could pull it out and clip it to my belt." And we were like, "I don't know, give us an hour." And we went on to our CAD program and added one on his laptop right there, shot it to the machine on the table, and in about an hour we had an updated one that's clipped it to your belt too.
Mr. Hester, I assume you mean like making different color bottom plates for the mags? Because that's something I had been kind of thinking about for myself, like different color, like take the Glock mag bottom off of it and make my own so that it's color coded.
That would be really cool.
45. What is 6x45?
It's basically a 223 neck down to 243 or necked up to 243.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like 6mm arc, maybe a little bit different. I'm not sure.
We just got an order.
Hey, thank you, whoever that was. Thank you so much.
We assume it's someone watching.
Yeah, we assume it's someone watching. That would be wild.
We literally haven't even advertised yet. Like, this is about the most marketing we've done. Hey,
thanks. Tactical fun.
We'll throw you in some prizes in there too.
Yeah, we'll throw you in a goodie.
What was the question?
Mag.
They're asking how many it holds, but I assume which caliber is different.
It depends. So I know that like the 7.62 and the 5.56, the 9mm, those all do
up to 308. Everything's 40. Everything bigger 40. Than that has to give. Like, we just don't. Yeah, it has to give because we just don't have.
I'm trying to remember what tray it was I designed that I had to take a whole row off. Was it the 45 ACP or something like that?
Yeah, it was 45, and that's why we hadn't printed it yet because you want to reconfig. But
anyways,
that's the one that
So most of them do 40. Obviously, the 12 gauge shotgun shells do not do 40. So just want to set some expectations there. Well, neither does the 50 BMG.
Yeah.
I want a few to hold hard seltzers I can put in my ammo can when I go to the range that way, because I always shoot hard seltzer. So you pull out a tray, it's got some hard seltzer in it.
Oh, you use it as a target, right? That's
yeah.
Save some rude price because he likes to drink them too.
Thanks, Tactical.
One time for a fundraiser, and never live.
Yeah, you should design a funnel for him to drink those. I mean, he puts so many of those things down. But that's what being a hillbilly is about. It's being the hard seltzer freak. You know, all the weird flavors, kind of the watermelon, the lime. I mean, he's on it.
It just occurred to me that you could basically make like a funnel that then has a straw in through it, so that you turn it up and drink it. It lets the water into the top, and you just slam it down.
You're terrible idea.
Just go chunk. Like a rabbit feeder, just oh gosh, that's funny. That's an interesting idea though. So what I was gonna say, I remember. So we call these our quarter trays, right? Because you can fit 4 of them across on the bottom of a 50 cal can. We have in the works both half and full length trays that would run the, either half or the full length of the 50 cal ammo can. And yes,
one tray, one connector.
One tray, and then whatever the connector would be for it.
And I believe they're $5.99 on the site. And then shipping is $5 up until like 16 trays. So like it's
whatever would fit in the standard priority box.
It's a base shipping cost that we have to pay for.
But with the full length trays, we're looking, or the full and half length, we're looking to do some really interesting stuff like EpiPen holders and various medical and tooling and whatnot. So
you joked about having something to like hold like a booze can or something like that, but we were actually thinking about outfitting one of the ends of the can with like an internal inlay that's bolted to the side, and it has a battery bank in it, so you can like lay your phone in it and charge while you're at the range.
Close it so
and
it doesn't
then
get
close
wet
it up, and then there'll be a little USB port with a rubber stopper on the other side to keep it waterproof. And you can plug it in to charge the battery bank internally that way.
Yeah, honestly, we have less of a problem with coming up with ideas and more of a problem without having enough time.
Or printers.
Or printers, as someone already alluded to.
Yeah, like it's pretty wild.
I will say that for better or worse, whatever your opinions may be about the government handing out money, if they're going to hand it out, I'm going to go ahead and take it. We actually just got an innovation award for $5,000 to be able to get more printers to get the more stuff going. So that represents more than doubling of our printing capacity. So that's pretty groovy.
Okay, Gene, are you ready?
Oh, I got one more question for these guys.
Uh-oh.
How do they fit in the can? Do they go sideways or lengthwise?
Where'd the can go?
I got it.
All right.
I'll hold it.
Yeah. So they go like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And then 4 of them.
And then they'll stack with pistol rounds. They'll stack 4 deep. The most you'll ever get really in a can that are loaded are 16. And one of the things is we're aware that that's only 640 rounds. And like if people have been like, I can get 1,500 rounds in here if I dig, and I'm like, yeah, and pick that up off the floor and run with it.
Yeah.
Like the idea is for our kits to be something you can be mobile with.
Right. Yeah.
Like, but still be way effective in whatever capacity you need.
So for those of you who like to collect shiny tokens for trading possibly one day, in my ammo can, I've got a couple of tubes of silver, some 5.56, some 7.62, some 9mm, like 1 tray of 40 Smith & Wesson for that one Glock 22 I have. And then that way I have like 2 of these cans sitting in the bottom of my gun safe. And I tell my wife, like, if I ever call you up and say, meet me at the farm, she knows, go grab those 2 cans. And they're not so heavy that she couldn't literally grab them and go with them. Whereas before, when it was just me shoving in as much as I possibly could to fill it, she literally couldn't pick them up. Like she just would be like, well, if you're not here, I guess they're staying. So the other thing too is that we have on the list of things to make are trays for the 30 cal can.
And the Fat 50s.
And the Fat 50s. But the 30 cal can is really cool. In my F-150, the back seats can, if you finagle it, the back seats will actually lay down, and you can actually put 30 cal cans across the back and then lock the seats back up. And so in there, I keep various tools and whatnot. So, keep an eye out for those to land on the website soon.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready, Gene?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's time for What's Hot Pot Got? You like that picture? I like that picture.
What's Hot Pot got? Hot Pot has got tonight. He has got a 6mm GT. This is a Gucci bench rest round that's taken the PRS world by storm. It is actually starting to replace the standard 6mm rounds that are out there, which I showed a couple weeks ago. I showed one of those Gucci bench rest rounds. But this here is new to the market. It's only been out for about 2 years. It's got instead of a 40-degree shoulder, it's got a 35-degree shoulder, which increases the feeding. Where the other 6mm rounds with 40 have feeding issues from the magazines by getting jammed up. So a couple guys come up with this round here. I'm going to read you a little bit about it. Let's see. They're normally topped with a 110 or 109 grain bullet. It's been commercially available for 2 years. It helps to improve the accuracy and feeding capabilities of the 6mm GT in the world of competition shooting. It was designed from George Gardner and Tom Jacobs, renowned long-range shooter and creator of Vapor Trail bullets. Varget is the standard powder to be used with these, as well as H4350, but they were designed for Varget powder use. Let's see. No magazine inserts or modifications are required to feed from an AICS magazine. 35-degree shoulder, optimized case nearing 100% capacity with 34 to 35.5 grains of Varget. Has a velocity of 30-20 to 30-80 with a 103 to 105 grain bullet and approximately 3,000 with up to 115s. The brass is manufactured by Hornady. Target is the preferred powder. You can get the dyes through Hornady, RCBS, and Reading. And that's it. Just another little Gucci PRS bench rest round. So if you see these out there, they're new to the market, and to buy this brass new, 75 cents a piece.
The brass?
The brass is that much?
The brass is 75 cents a piece.
Yeah, it's not a high production thing, it's lower runs, custom runs, so it's more expensive.
It also does use a small primer.
What is it? $3 a round?
It might be one thing you can't buy.
Does it guarantee my kill on a hard seltzer?
That's what I'm talking about.
I think it's, what is it, Hillbilly? $35 or $36 for a box of 20.
And that's for squirrel hunting, right?
Yeah. You're going to cook your squirrel at the same time you hit it. So it's going to be
you ought to see
a shoot and eat event.
I'm on one website right now. It's $50 for a box of 20.
I found it down to 36, I thought, on one website. Ooh. I guess it depends on when you're getting which bullets you're getting in it. I think the ones with the burger are more expensive.
$48.99 for a Nosler bullet. Let's see how cheap we can get. Oh my! For the Hornady CX, you're looking at $63.99 for a box of 20.
You're talking about loaded ammunition, Chris?
This is definitely a reloader's round for sure.
Yeah, the article said this is a reloader's round for PRS shooting because of getting your accuracy with your barrel and what type of firearm you're using. The only firearm I found that they're making this to shoot this out of is a Masterpiece Arms rifle.
Yeah.
So not only are you spending buku dough even just to reload these or buy the factory, but you're going to be in the mortgaging your house to buy an MPA rifle.
If you can afford the rifle, you can afford the brass and the ammo.
Yeah, there's a number of cartridges that are very, very similar. The BR, 6mm BR, the 6mm Dasher. They're all competing in the same circles. They do this virtually the same thing.
The problem with the Dasher was the 40-degree neck angle.
It's also shorter.
Yeah, and this is a short action cartridge.
Yeah.
So with the 40 degree neck angle on there, they were having problems with feeding issues, and this pro shooter was noticing this, so they got together and designed this with a 35 to eliminate the problems that the Dasher has.
Hornady does. You can buy it direct from Horn. You can buy the Hornady ammo. It's $38 a box. So
yeah, that's what I see.
All that other stuff was custom made from like custom ammo shops.
Yeah, so they're all very accurate, precision, bench rest / PRS / target stuff.
Do we know the parent case? Been a couple, 2 or 3 guys out there asking what the parent case is.
I did not see anything on the parent case. There's very little information about this. There's only a couple articles on it, and they're actually from the men who designed it.
Well, hardcorestorage.com gave us a link that I posted in the comments if y'all can go back and look. Tactical Fud says Remington 700 shoots it. There's a link straight to Sammy Specs on that up earlier in the comments from Hardcore Storage. And we got some more questions for you guys.
All right.
There's one from Appalachian Firearms before we get back to y'all guys. 8.6. Is that the 8.6 blackout? What do we know about that?
I shot it at range day when I was at SHOT Show, and it's an awesome round, especially
it's a Creedmoor case. What is that? The 308 Marlin case, or the 308?
It shoots the 338 bullet.
Yeah, but the case is the Creedmoor case.
Yeah, yep. I think you can actually make it out of. I think Eagle Run's actually made the brass out of 6.5 Creedmoor.
It's a crazy round. It don't care about nothing. Ballistic gel, steel, or nothing. It just says, I go.
Well, it's a 1 in 3 twist.
That's the one by Q, right?
He had something to do with something there. I don't know if it was all him. It might be. Yeah, I think it might be.
Okay. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. That's a pretty wild round.
The rotational forces that it has is just.
We were shooting it at the Faxon booth out in the desert, and they had multiple calibers there for us to shoot. But I remember when we would hit the steel plates at 50 yards with it, it was rocking the stand and everything. It was so neat. And it was so quiet running it through a suppressor. It was a lot of fun to shoot.
And it'll even run on a shorter barrel. That's like, it don't make sense what it does. I seen it go straight through 3 ballistic gels without just leaving a straight line through it, and then threw a piece of steel behind that and just kept on going.
Okay, 338 Spectre is original to the 8.6.
The Spectre is the 338 Spectre is that one on a 6.8 case, or I think it's on a 6.8 case.
I think they're calling it 8.6.
You mean this case here?
6.8 SPC case, I believe it's on. The Spectre is on.
That's a 6.8 blackout case.
Is it at all related or tangentially associated to the new Army round? Because isn't it a 6.8?
Yeah. Well, the 6.8 SPC was played with by the military, as toted by the military special forces, something or other.
Oh, no, like it was just adopted by the Army. Like,
I don't know.
Their
latest one is that steel and brass case that
277 Fury is the civilian name.
Yeah, 277 Fury.
Whatever
it's called. Yeah, whatever it's called. But the
The
6.8
longer one,
SPC is older. It's been around longer. It's an AR based case, AR-15
Ah, gotcha.
short.
now the 6mm GT is the longer one. The 6mm bench rest is the shorter one.
Ah.
They're 473 case heads, both of them, I believe.
37, 308.
The bases are identical.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 473s then. Same as the 308.
Actually, this has been a fascinating, like getting into this business has been absolutely fascinating learning about all these esoteric rounds that I never knew existed a year ago.
It's also crazy how many of the footprints match up, and also how many of them flip. Like it's almost unbelievable. I'm sure all many reloader guys are well aware.
I mean, we were tossing out. Mike and I were tossing out cartridges there, just kind of laugh tongue in cheek. But there's so many that are on that 223 case. So many, which is a 375 diameter case head. I mean, from 380 up, and the only difference is the length of the case. So as long as it's deep enough that it doesn't fall over, you could use the same shell block for all those. I mean, probably 20 different cartridges, 25 different cartridges.
All you guys would have to do is change your lettering on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took one of the new Army rounds and put it in our 308, and I was like, "Yep, that works."
Perfect footprint. We just need a new connector.
Yeah, that's a 473 case set. 3006,
Yeah.
308, and everything that's based off it would fit in that.
Yeah, and by taking that size, like CW saying with the 380, and with taking that same dimension, now you can list that tray for this many different caliber rounds, not just 9mm, not just 380, not just 223, 5.56. Now you can list that one tray to hold this.
Yeah, we've gone back and forth on right now they're like, I don't know if you can be able to see it in the picture, but it's like a negative text, like a negative. It's not raised out; it's pushed in. It's recessed. There you go. It's recessed. But we've gone back and forth on making it almost like, should we make it like a dry erase board or something, and
so people can just especially for reloaders and stuff, or like maybe if we gave you guys a little canvas here or something so that y'all could, and we could do an extra flat layer this way or something like that, and give you a place to write, I don't know, grain or what date you loaded that one, or
the 9mm tray will hold a 5.56. You just need a different connector. Anyways,
yeah, just different length connectors, just depending on what someone's buying.
Oh yeah,
it's like it becomes endless, doesn't it? The dry erase board is actually a wall painted with chalkboard paint.
That's right. Is it good?
Yeah, I thought I heard it.
Sorry.
Yeah, you get jumpy around these things. You're like, oh gosh,
hear it messing up. Well, I'd like to share one more thing with y'all. For anyone that has a 3D printer, we made a little sort of promotional item that we made available for free download that you can print yourself. We call it Brass Tacks. I'll also put it in the chat over here too. But for those of you who visit the good old Cracker Barrel, it's the Peg Cracker Barrel game, but you play it with 5.56 brass.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
I will be printing mine off probably tomorrow, trying to get that to print.
Nice.
So
they make good stocking stuffers.
That'd be my second item I'll print. My first being my owl, Mr. Hooty Hoo.
He has a Cobra, by the way. He answered while you're talking on the phone. He has a Cobra.
I got you. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, he can make it the nice link. Hell yeah. So
nice.
I also have under that same principles user account a thing called Dad Blocks. My kids, I have probably a metric ton of these in various older permutations, and so they use them just as like blocks to build with. So my son just sat down with me one day. We made these things called Charlie blocks, and they're basically the same footprint as these, but they have 2 holes in the top, 2 holes in the bottom, hole in the side, hole in the side, hole in the side, hole in the side, and a little connector that you can print out and basically make like a Lego set that also then just fits down in a 50 cal ammo can because it's the same footprint.
Yeah. Getting that,
But you can download those and print. What's that?
You can play Jenga with those too.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I've actually used them a couple of times now as like jigs for when I'm working on the like saw or something, because I can kind of connect them and build out a jig and then clamp them in place, and it's just a fascinating little thing to play with.
We could make a Jenga tower out of these things. We could. Well, that'd be pretty good. Pretty good
Actually,
table display.
You could literally play Jenga out of them. That'd be great. Yeah.
Great.
Like a can mod Jenga game.
What are the magna clips? Michael, they sorry, we don't have pictures yet. We just invented them. What they are is they hold a single or double stack pistol magazine down in them. And it's a clip that like widens as it goes down in. It holds it real tight, and it has a very strong magnet on the bottom. So that you can clip it to the bottom of the ammo can, or if you have an empty magazine or something like that, you can snap your empty on the side of the can, and so your empty's on the ground. And then also, magnet clips have a belt loop on or a belt clip on them, so that you can clip them to your belt, or they go down in your ammo pouch or whatever when you're out hunting.
You can kind of visualize them as like a hard, same plastic as this of like a taco pouch
thing.
You've seen those, the taco pouches from High Speed Gear. But then they have the magnet at the bottom, so they'll stick and not slide around the bottom of an ammo can.
Mm-hmm.
We have a new player.
I'm the oldest player here. And that's not boogers hanging out of my nose, you guys. That's what's left of my upper lip after the crash and burn last week. So it's just about done healing.
Yeah, teach you to try to eat them targets.
Yeah, they didn't taste good. They could, they could at least give me some cranberry sauce with them. But.
They fixed the sidewalk yet?
I wasn't that big. I know there's a couple shooters out there that could leave, a footprint in hard cement, but I wouldn't want them.
Andy asked a
Good
question
to see you,
there,
Walter.
guys.
Yes. Yeah, they do pretty well. And in fact, you can hold them either way.
They go both ways. Yeah.
Now, I will say that the 50 BMGs, they're a little unstable.
Yeah, they're a little, they tip a little bit. But we probably need to make them a little deeper.
Okay, it's that time. Let me catch up on the comments. It's time for our verse of the week. We're going to deviate just a little bit. Psalm 107, verse 1. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever. And I should have fixed that up. I don't believe in not capitalizing pronouns that refer to the Lord. So that should be a capital H in he and a capital H in his.
We'll blame it on autocorrect.
Well, we're going to blame it on the interweb because that's where that copy came from. So
there you are.
There's that. We've just finished Thanksgiving. Yesterday was Thanksgiving, a day that we set aside as a nation to thank the Lord for all the good he's done for us. May I interrupt quickly? Three, two, one. Hey!
Mario! Mario!
These guys are what's going on?
I know. They're freaking. Anyway, when we stop, and my prayer yesterday as I was leading prayer for my family's get together was that I prayed that he would make us as thankful and grateful every day as we are on Thanksgiving. And I feel like sometimes we take all that for granted, and we should praise him more and be more thankful to him. And we're just, life gets in the way, guys. So that's just where I'm at. I just wanted to go away from Matthew chapter 5 for today. And yesterday was Thanksgiving. We need to give thanks to the Lord. He is good, He is merciful, He is love. And thank y'all for putting up with me. So, any other comments about the verse of the week?
Yeah. Not that I never have a comment about the verse of the week, of course. But I always like to get my 2 cents worth in because it's now, worth $1.50 with inflation. But, back to what you said about it being, Thanksgiving and how sometimes we forget and it's hard to remember to give thanks on a daily basis. And that's partly why we have, a Sunday church service to go to every week at least, and don't have to wait for once a year for Thanksgiving. But, and I try, when I get outdoors, and today, I don't know about you guys where you are, it's a beautiful day. And I don't look up in the sky the same way ever, particularly since I learned how to fly. You never look up at the sky in the same way after you learn how to fly. But, I look up and I look at my surroundings, and even if it's a cruddy, windy, rainy, blowy, nasty, ugly Central Coast of California day, which means it's probably 72 degrees and clear, but that I don't give thanks for that. It seems like a small thing, but I try to not let the small things escape me. I live in a great place. I have great friends, and I try to think about those things on a daily basis. And every time I start thinking that direction, which it truly is pretty much on a daily basis, I find something worth being thankful for. But I always try to make it a point to reflect about why it is that I have that to be thankful for. Why do I have that? Where did it come from? And I try to focus, and thank the Lord for what I've got. I could be a lot worse. Yesterday on Thanksgiving Day, I got this busted knee and I couldn't get up to be with family. But you know what? Family came to me today. They went way the heck out of their way, and they came to me today and brought all the leftovers, which we all know is the best part of Thanksgiving dinner anyway. And so I was pretty darn thankful and happy about that. And I told them so, and I thanked the Lord for that. So you betcha, He's merciful, not just on Sunday and not just on Thanksgiving and not just on Christmas and Easter time, folks. There's mercy that He sheds upon us every day. Sometimes you might have to look a little harder for it, but it's there. So there's my penny and a half worth.
Well, Walter, you're right. Every day is a beautiful day. The sun does not have to be shining. The birds do not have to be singing. The flowers do not have to be blooming for it to be a beautiful day. So I am thankful for each day that the Lord gives me. Each day I get to put my 2 feet on the floor and stand up. I'm thankful for. And I'm thankful for all of my friends and loving family in my life. Every day.
Absolutely.
I'm thankful for Stephanie being here tonight.
Yeah.
That's Mrs. Hardcore.
Yeah. That's his wife, actually.
But judging by the little bitty picture that she has up there, she pretties you two boys up pretty dang good. So
Hey, was that
married up.
I know,
You
right?
married up like some of the rest of us did. No doubt.
yeah.
with that being
She
said,
always laughs when I say that too, and I'm like, no, really.
No.
with that being said, can we dance with your dates?
Yeah. I had a friend of mine at church. He was 82. He was our violin player in our orchestra, and I'd say, "How you doing?" And he'd say, "Every day I wake up and I go like this and don't hit wood, it's a good day."
Or iron bars, huh?
Or iron bars, yeah.
Let me tell you what I'm thankful for. When we were sitting up at the gun show, I walked by a table and they had these Winchester cardboard boxes of green tip for sale for almost $200 a box that I paid like $80 for just a couple of years ago. And I sure am thankful I bought the stew out of those.
Oh, man.
Apparently something happened at Lake City that I missed on the news, and ammo shortage happened now.
It's on.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that Vista group that makes almost all of our ammunition.
That's like Remington and Group, isn't it?
Remington, yeah. They got sold out to a foreign company. So so there's that.
Yeah, Fiocchi owns 51% of it.
Yep.
Where's Fiocchi from? Are they Italy? It's Italy.
Italy.
It's getting late. Italy. Italia.
It's some of that Italian dressing.
Italian, yeah.
All right, so y'all ready to do your thing? You ready to give something away?
Sure.
Yeah,
let's do it. So we've got 4 orange 9mm trays and connectors here.
Okay.
Some lucky chat participant. We would love to send these your way.
How is this going to work?
Do I need to pull up the giveaway tool?
I got it.
You got it? Awesome. I'm thankful for Jamie.
I'm thankful Hillbilly isn't pulling up his tool.
Okay. I'm going to put this in. This is the hashtag. Type in. And make sure I got it right. Okay. There's your hashtag. HCS.
There you go.
That's a good one.
So interestingly, someone was mentioning about a Czech guy who bought ammo companies. All of our 3D printers are made in the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
on the bottom
known for making really good ones.
on it.
My new 3D printer was made by the CA China company.
CA China? Yeah.
Yeah. My the first one we started off with.
Hasbro said we should type in hashtag 270 Winchester.
Yeah, Hasbro types in Morse code most of the time. Yeah.
All right, see, we're getting a lot better response from that than when I tried to call out everybody's name. So I should probably call out everybody's name now, right?
You bet.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, look, there's Moo out there, and boom, those guys just been hiding back there in the.
Yeah, you bring out the prize package, and it's like the relatives coming out of the woodwork, at inheritance time.
Everybody's a participant.
Giving away something.
Oh, that is the light one. Golly.
You too can have safety orange in your can. So it's funny that safety orange was the first color that we really did, just because I thought it looked good in the green ammo can.
Yep.
I've got an idea for you too.
What you got?
We should probably talk about that afterwards. But if you wanted to take some of that orange and print some empty chamber flags, and just put them in a bowl, and let people at the gun show just pick up one, or you can put one in every box or whatever.
Yeah, with your logo and name on it,
like that.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Good idea.
I heard Hillbilly had safety orange in his potty, after drinking a hard seltzer. He got some safety orange in there. That's a good idea. A chamber flag with your logo on it.
Just a little swag item. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually bought a bunch of ammo cans from somebody that is it's a private company, but they cater to the military. But anyway, they had a bunch of links for 308 machine gun ammo, and so we were getting cans from them, and they gave us a can full of them, and we were like, what do we do with these? And I was like, I don't know.
240 ammo.
Yeah. And so we were like, what do we do with these? I was like, I don't know, maybe we'd recycle them. But then we were playing around with them because we had them on the table. We're like, I don't know, man. We'll sell them 10 for $1. Like, we just want to get rid of them. And then we figured out that if you take when kids come to the table, if you slip them over your finger, it's a sight for your finger gun.
Yeah,
iron sights for your finger gun, for your handgun.
Yeah, so that's for your handgun.
We always try to have something we can hand to kids and stuff because that's always a good sales tool to engage the kids.
Yeah.
Gets the skeptical parents loosened up a little bit.
And honestly, we need any and all tips because we're terrible salespeople. We're great engineers. We're terrible salespeople.
Yeah. If anybody knows outside salespeople that work on commission, we got.
Yeah, I know, right? Have we got an offer for you?
Yeah. Yeah, Blake, that's not a bad idea. We could literally make one of those, but with our website on it. Yeah.
Gizzard Gary, it looks like we're going to be late tonight. Okay, we got 38 entries. Last call for getting your hashtags in. We'll give you 1 minute.
Where are you guys from? I assume that's a question for us. We're out of Georgia. Mm-hmm. We're currently in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
But our other production facility is I live in Macon, Georgia, which is in Middle Georgia. Mm-hmm. Some people mistakenly sometimes call Macon a suburb of Atlanta or South Georgia, but it's neither of those things.
It's dead in the middle of the state.
Dead in the middle.
Yes, sir.
Most people think it's just a gas station on the way to Savannah or Florida, but it's more than that.
We actually met our wonderful host last week at a gun show here in Georgia.
That's right.
In Cartersville.
That's right.
Macon, Georgia is the birthplace of the Allman Brothers.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
I did not know that.
That's right.
The Georgia Music Hall of Fame is in Macon. Somebody else big time is from there too.
Otis Redding.
Otis Redding. Yeah.
Yes.
And Little Richard.
And Little Richard.
Yeah.
Wow.
My mom used to talk about the days that she used to party with Cher and Greg at a place called Sam's Club. Not the store, but a club that was Sam's Club.
Cher was there for the cheap pizza.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hot dogs. It's hot dogs, man.
All right, we've got 41 entries
house, that's
already.
All right.
Okay.
Let her rip.
41 entries. All right.
I saw someone mention about Perry. We were actually at the Perry gun show just recently, and we'll probably be at the next one too. So come check us out.
Look at
that. Has won yet again.
Rebel, rebel, rebel.
That couldn't happen better for you guys because he owns the gun store I was telling you about. Y'all going to have to probably wind up sending him a bunch of stuff.
Oh yeah, we got all kinds of goodies
for sure. Yeah, and in fact, Mike, we'll pack some more stuff in the can for you and shoot it your way.
Yeah, thanks. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should be at the next Perry show too. I think it's in February.
Yeah.
Perry.
By the way, just a quick surprise.
Perry is actually just a gas station on the way to Florida. but it's also home of the Georgia State Fair and the Big Pig Jig, the
That's right.
Yeah.
the biggest barbecue cook-off in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, those fairgrounds are huge. What's really neat too is that often it's not just a gun show. There'll be like a gun show and a rodeo, and like the last time it was a tractor show. Like my kids were just like losing their minds of all the old John Deeres and stuff. So that was really cool.
I hate to do this to. I know it's the Georgia Shooting Connection, but it goes all over the world, I guess, on YouTube. But my favorite thing at the tractor shows are those old timey hit and miss engines. You wonder how they keep running. I mean, but they are so cool.
Yeah. Occasionally it sparks off and goes.
Prayer.
So, Mike, I have your information. I'm pretty sure, and I'll share it with Carrie and Blake after the show.
Yeah,
and
I was gonna say
we can get that stuff sent down there to you. And well, thank you, Stephanie. She says you guys are so sweet. She don't know me very well, does she?
You don't know any of us very well.
It just cause Walter's in here. We all know he's the ladies' man.
Yeah, he is. All right, so we need to start going through the room and clear the deck for Mr. Gizzard Gary coming up here. But as we're doing this, y'all, if y'all have any questions for Carrie and Blake, be sure to ask them. So, Mark, we hadn't heard much from you tonight, so go for it.
Well, just making sure I'm unmuted. Been wonderful to be here. Been great to have Hardcore Storage. We've had some spirited conversation. Great product. Hope everybody had a really good Thanksgiving holiday. And if anybody's heading out to the woods here in Pennsylvania this weekend, wish you the best of luck. I don't know if anybody has spoken of it, but our friend Charles Irby passed the other day. Please keep him in your prayers. And just looking forward to a good week. Hope everybody has a good one. Take care. Thank you.
Good luck tomorrow. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Walter, what you got coming up this week?
Well, let's see. We had a Free the Few episode number 12 came out on the Rumble channel. That's all reloading stuff, so it doesn't show up on YouTube. This coming Monday, we'll have a Moldy Monday again. I fortunately had 3 or 4 weeks of those in the bank with all the shooting and stuff done for that one, so I can still put the videos out. It's going to be another month before I can get out and shoot again, though, it looks like, according to the medic. But anyway, that is what it is. So let's see what else we got going on. I got a couple of packages of bullets sent out to some good friends this week. One of them's right there. So watch your mail tomorrow, Mark. And
looking forward to it. Thank you.
Yeah, well, after I saw your video today, you're going to be flush with one of those. I'll tell you. And I got a couple more videos that we're going to do with the new Smith & Wesson 41 mag. We did cylinder throat checking, and then the next one we're going to do kind of a short one the first part of the week with looking at the flash gap and a couple other measurements on that gun just because I can't get out and shoot it. It's the only way I can play with it. Other than that, status quo. Hopefully I'll be steady enough by the end of next week to do some casting and get some video out there. So that's what I got coming up. Hillbilly up tomorrow night. I'm going to try to be there. So how about you upstairs there, Mr. Chris?
Well, it's good to see you come on tonight, Walter. And glad to see you back on camera now.
Yeah, such as it is.
I mean, I had a great time. Thanks for the invite. It was awesome talking to these guys from Hardcore. Super, super cool products. And I got a lot of stuff coming up, a lot of new videos. I worked out a bunch of deals today with some new companies, so there's going to be a lot of reviews coming out, and super excited to work with a couple of these companies. And I'm going to talk to you guys in the back chat, but my birthday's a week from today. So I'm thinking we might want to have a chat Wednesday night, just kind of a fun free-for-all chat. So that's what I got coming up, and appreciate the invite, Jamie. And I'm going to turn it over to Gene.
Thanks for being here, brother.
Happy early birthday, brother. And thanks for having me on tonight. It's been a lot of fun with these two guys over here. Man, we're looking forward to get to talking to you through email about these grips, because I think that's something that's needed out there, personally. But let's see. I got a bunch of videos planned. Haven't made any one of them. Hopefully, I may get to make a couple of them this weekend, get them out next week. Other than that, man, thanks very much for having me on. I greatly appreciate all of you. Just love being here every Friday night. And with that, to the guests.
There we go. There's that button.
Thank y'all so much. We really appreciate you having us on and hearing about our product. And thanks to chat for the orders.
And the ideas.
And the ideas and everything. It's been wonderful. Like, the program's been wonderful. You guys have been wonderful. It's so welcoming. And like, we appreciate all the questions, and hit us up on email anytime. Anybody at info@hardcorestorage.com. Hit us up on email if you have any ideas for anything, or if you want to order any of the things that we talked about tonight, but it's not listed on our site. Just info@hardcorestorage.com. We'll work it out with you. This is 2/3 of the company right here. We can we'll talk to a guy about a guy, and we'll get with your guy, and we'll make it work. We promise. But thank you all so much. You've been wonderful.
And if anybody else wants us to come talk on any other shows or channels, by all means, we're always available.
Anytime. Yep. And we love to chat.
Yes.
Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you, sir.
It's been a blessing to us tonight, and a credit to your mama and daddies.
Thank you.
Thank you a lot. That means a lot.
Mr. Hillbilly up.
Hey guys, man. So Hardcore Storage, I want to thank you guys for being on tonight. This is awesome. Enjoying them. You said 2/3 of the company. I figured Stephanie's the other third.
This is my other half.
Oh, okay. But anyway, I made a phone call to California, got a hold of Walters Taylor, and I was like, hey, can you send me something? He sent me a custom-made hat like Walters. So, I imagine the girls are going to be waiting outside by the time I wake up in the morning, just like they did at Walter's house,
You got to learn how to wear it first, buddy. There's 3 ways you can wear a hat like this. You wear it like this in the morning. In the afternoon, you wear it like this. And when it's windy, you lock it.
Well, man, thanks a lot for having me on tonight. Friday nights are always a blast. Enjoy this panel, the side chat. Everything's just been awesome. Tomorrow night, we have Guns, Beer, and Therapy. And that is at 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. So make sure you guys can jump over and make that. And I just want to thank you all very much. Got some videos coming out, more videos anyhow. So we actually going to be doing some reviews and everything on the daggers. So yeah, just got that in. So anyway, appreciate you guys all so much. CW, what you got going on, buddy?
Well, I just wanted to follow suit with everybody else and welcome you guys, and thank you for coming on tonight. It was a real good show. Hope we got some word out there on your products, and I know you got a couple orders. I saw a couple of things flash by. You guys ordered some stuff, so that's pretty good. Was a busy week for me here. It's deer season. I didn't get to go last year, so I'm getting in every bit I can this year. So I'm out again tomorrow morning. I was out all day today, and I was out the other day, and so good times sitting in the woods watching God's creation. And like I've been saying, remember, today's a present. Yesterday's gone, and tomorrow is not a guarantee. So make sure you tell all those people in your life that you love them, and make sure they know. God bless everybody.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for being here. Thanks to our guests. Thanks for our panel members. Thanks to all y'all in the side chat. Check out Gizzard Gary next. We hope Lord blesses you all real good. And if he's willing, we'll see you next Friday night at 8 o'clock.